Have you ever felt like you're working harder than ever, putting in all the hours, but your business just feels stuck? It's incredibly frustrating, right? Well, there's a good chance it's because you're busy solving a problem that isn't your real problem.
It really boils down to this fantastic quote from Warren Buffett. All the hard work in the world doesn't mean a thing if it's pointed in the wrong direction. Getting really, really good at the wrong thing isn't a path to growth. It's just a faster way to burn out. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to give you a super simple framework to figure out the one thing that's actually holding your business back. It's all about stopping the wasted effort so you can finally get things moving. Let's get into it. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the hard work trap. Then we'll diagnose what's really going on in your business and look at some real-world examples. After that, we'll dive into the incredible power of focusing on just one thing. And finally, we'll give you a clear plan to find and fix your biggest bottleneck. Okay, so the biggest trap that almost everyone falls into is thinking that if we just work harder on everything, the business will grow. But the difference between a business that's taking off and one that's just treading water? It isn't just about effort. It's about applying that effort to the right problem. And here's the secret. Most businesses that are stuck have one of two, and only two core problems. It's either a supply problem or a demand problem. The crazy thing is, most owners have no idea which one is theirs. So let's fix that for you right now. We're going to figure out your core constraint by getting super clear on these two problems. Seriously, this one simple question can change absolutely everything. First step, the demand constraint. This one's pretty simple. You have the ability to serve more people, but you just don't have enough customers walking in the door. Think of a restaurant with a bunch of empty tables, or a coach with open slots in their calendar, or maybe a warehouse just full of product that's not moving. You've got the stuff, but not the buyers. And then you've got the flip side, a supply constraint. This is when you have tons of customers, maybe even too many, but you just don't have the capacity to keep up. You've got long waiting lists, you're actually turning people away, or you literally can't make your product fast enough. Now, this is the part that's so important. You can have too few customers or you can have too little capacity, but you can never have both of those problems at the exact same time. One of them is always the real bottleneck that's holding you back. So how do you know which one is yours? Okay, here's a super simple test you can do in your head right now. Just imagine you snapped your fingers and doubled your marketing budget tomorrow. If your sales would pretty much double along with it, boom, you've got a demand problem. But if the thought of that just creates pure chaos in your mind, that's a huge sign you've got a supply problem. Okay, let's make this real. Because trying to fix the wrong problem doesn't just waste your time and money. A lot of the time, it actually makes things way worse. Okay, so picture a consultant who is totally booked out for months. Her income has hit a ceiling. So what does she do? She uses her tiny bits of free time trying to get more leads. She's trying to solve a demand problem that she doesn't even have. Her real issue is supply. The solution isn't more clients, it's serving the ones she has differently by raising prices, maybe shifting to a group program, or hiring other people. And this is where the magic happens. Look at this. If that same consultant doubled her prices, yeah, she might lose, say, 30% of her clients. But do the math. She'd still increase her total revenue by 40% while freeing up a ton of time. More money for less work. That's what happens when you fix the right problem. Now, for a trickier one, let's talk about a restaurant. On a Saturday night, there's a 90-minute wait for a table. That is a classic supply problem. But on a Tuesday afternoon, it's a ghost town, a demand problem. So a general let's do more marketing campaign is the wrong move. It just makes the weekend crowds angrier. The smart play is to tackle them as two separate issues. Maybe raise prices a bit on weekends and then offer a great happy hour deal on weekdays. Okay, so once you know your real problem, what's the solution? Well, it's all about ruthless, brutal simplification. It's about finding the power of focusing on just one single thing. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine I crumpled up 4 balls of paper and yelled, "Hey, catch these." It'd be kind of tough, right? You'd probably fumble and drop them all. Well, that's what most business strategy looks like. We're throwing 4 or 5 different messages at people, hoping they catch one. It's just messy and confusing. But what if I just tossed you one ball of paper and said, catch? You'd catch it every single time. That is the power of a single focus message. It's clear, it's easy to remember, and it just works. This was basically the entire philosophy Ken Segall used when he was working with Steve Jobs at Apple. The goal was never to list every feature. It was to find that one most compelling idea, 1,000 songs in your pocket, and then just hammer that point home in the most powerful way you can imagine.
And what this all tells us is that simplicity is actually much harder than complexity. See, complexity is just lazy thinking. It's what happens when you can't be bothered to make the tough choices. Simplicity, that takes real work. It forces you to figure out what truly matters so you can go incredibly deep on that one thing and get those massive results.
All right, let's bring it all together. It's time to give you the tools to find your constraints and start fixing it. This is your next move. Let's do a quick diagnosis right now. Just answer these in your head. 1. If a wave of new customers showed up tomorrow, could you honestly serve them well? 2. Are you turning away business or do you have a waiting list? 3. Are your most popular, most profitable items always sold out? And 4. Are you dealing with long shipping delays or running out of stock? If you answered yes to any of those, you have your answer. You have a supply problem, and that is the only thing you should be focused on right now.
But remember, this isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. Growing a business is like an accordion. As soon as you solve your demand problem, you're going to get so busy that you create a supply problem. Then you solve that, and the pendulum swings back. The entire game is just knowing which problem you need to be solving today.
And that leads us to the final, most important question of all. You now know how to find your number one problem, but solving it isn't just about what new things you're going to start doing. The real question is, what are you going to stop doing tomorrow so you can pour all your energy into fixing it?